Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Miss Neely, and today we're going to be discussing about parts of a story. Now, within parts of a story, there are several different components that lie in a single book. However, what we're going to be focusing on today with our lesson is just the beginning, the middle, and the end. Let's put our eyes up here at this chart and let's go through what each part means. So let's start with the B. The B for beginning. The beginning of the story focuses on the characters and where the setting takes place. If we're to think of an actual example in real life, I would say that myself and teaching you children, who are the characters, in the school, which is our environment. And the beginning of the story also tells us the most key important details, and we get to know the characters more at a deeper level. If we transition down to the middle, which explains the problem that is happening in the story. It's the biggest plot that we see unfolding when we read the story. Sometimes there are problems that continue throughout several pages. Sometimes there are problems that are never resolved. Every book is different, but the book that we're going to be reading today will have both a problem and a solution. As we jump down to the end of the story focuses on how characters in the story were different than when we first met them in the beginning. Characters continuously develop as we read through stories. And so, as we read through the story that we're about to read, we can see how much characters can change through very little portions of a book. And usually at the end of the story, there are solutions to the problem that was introduced in the middle. So boys and girls, today we're going to be focusing on a book called Chrysanthemum. Now Chrysanthemum, she is a little mouse who experiences a problem in the story. And she really doesn't know how to handle it because it affects her. So, as we look at the title and the picture displayed on the book of Chrysanthemum, what do you think the story will be about? Do you think it's just about a flower? Do you think it involves the mouse and the flower? What are your thoughts? Turn and talk to your elbow partner and discuss what you think this story will be about before we begin reading. Go. Eyes up, hands up. All right, what are we thinking? I think that's a really good connection that you made with the story. Okay. Are we ready to read the story of Chrysanthemum? Yeah? Let's get started. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be absolutely perfect, said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew. And when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her down for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written in ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. And she loved it when she wrote it herself with a fat orange marker. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect, and then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum, school! Let's stop right here. Chrysanthemum loves her name because it just sounds beautiful as it comes out. However, She's starting school, just like the rest of us. And she's never really had interaction with other people besides her family. How do you think her classmates are going to react when they hear her name for the first time? Chrysanthemum. What are your thoughts? Turn and talk with your elbow partner. I want to gather your responses. Go. Eyes up, hands up. Okay, what do you think? Do you think her classmates are going to like her name when they hear it? You don't. How come? Because you think it's long? Okay. Very interesting. Anybody else have a different thought? Go ahead, yes. You do think that they're going to like their name. How come? Because it's beautiful, like I said. It's possible. Do you think that Chrysanthemum is going to have a good day at school or a bad day at school? I'm hearing both good and bad. What do you think? Should we read and find out what happened at school? Okay, let's go. Let's see what happens. But when Miss Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. Uh-oh. You think we're starting to endure a problem? You think? Let's see as we continue to read. It's so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on your name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. You're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. What's going on? What's going on in the story? Chrysanthemum wilted. What does that mean? You think she's happy or do you think she's sad? She's sad. She's sad, that's right. People are starting to make fun of her about her name. That's not good. Maybe it will continue to get better. Let's read on and find out. The rest of the day was not so much better. Oh no. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Miss Chud that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. That's exactly half as many letters there are in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. Thank you for sharing with us, Victoria, said Miss Chud. Now put your head down. Oh no, this isn't good. If I had a name like yours, I'd change it, Victoria said as the students let up to go home. I wish I could, Chrysanthemum said miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag, and I'm named after a flower. Oh, pish, said her mother. Your name is beautiful, and precious, and priceless, and fascinating, and winsome, said her father. It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. You think Chrysanthemum's starting to feel a little bit better after her first day of school? Yeah? Let's read on. Let's see how she's feeling. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. Do you think Chrysanthemum was to change her name after the first day of school? How come you don't think so? If she's dreaming about the name Jane, why don't you think she must change her name? Oh, did I get you? It's okay. She likes to experiment with different names, looks like it. But let's see what happens on the second day of school. Let's continue. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dried her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. Are we still entering a problem with Chrysanthemum's name? Yes, we are. Do you think that things are going to get better? Turn and talk. Do you think things are going to get better as I flip the page? What do you think is going to happen? Okay, eyes up, hands up. What do you think is going to happen? Victoria's still going to pick on her? It's definitely possible. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? You think the teacher's going to step in? Yeah, it's possible. All right, let's see what happens as we turn the page. The rest of the day was not so much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, "A chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things." "Thank you for sharing with us, Victoria," said Miss Chudd. "Now put your head down." "I just cannot believe your name," Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. "Neither can I," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Doesn't seem like things are getting better for Chrysanthemum. Let's see what happens when she goes home. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School is no place for me," said Chrysanthemum. "They said I even looked like a flower. They pretended to pick me and smell me." "Oh, pish," said her mother. "They're just jealous and envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced," said her father. "Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours?" said her mother. "After all, it's absolutely perfect," said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after having her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream icing, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals off one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at each and every flower. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum," the flowers seemed to say. So, we're still entering a problem with Chrysanthemum, and I'm pretty sure that we all know that the problem now is that she's getting bullied by Victoria, Joe, and Rita. So, we're going into the 3rd day of school with Chrysanthemum. What do you think is going to happen on the 3rd day of school? Do you think that Chrysanthemum's going to get bullied again? Or do you think that we're finally going to see a solution to the problem that we've been seeing? Try and talk to your elbow partner. 2 minutes. I want to get your responses. And go. Eyes up. Hands up. Okay. What did you guys discuss? What do you think? You think she's going to get bullied again? Let me ask you a question. If Chrysanthemum is going to get bullied again, don't you think she should tell the teacher? Do you think that the teacher would do something about it? It is possible, yes. But she has told her parents. You think the teacher would help her make her feel better? It's possible. What did you guys discuss? What do you think? Do you think she's going to get bullied? So if they tell the teacher and the teacher talks to Joe, Rita, and Victoria, do you think they'll stop? Okay. Do you think we should find out what happens as we continue to read? All right, let's go. That morning, the students were introduced to Miss Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream. It was everything else about her. The students were speechless. They thought Miss Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Miss Twinkle led the students in scales. Then she assigned roles for the class musicale. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess. Joe was chosen as an all-important pixie messenger, and Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy, Joe, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. What's happening? Yes, she's getting bullied again. But this time it's in front of the teacher. Do you think the teacher's going to step in? You think so? All right, let's see. What's so humorous? Asked Miss Twinkle. Chrysanthemum was the answer. Her name is so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on her name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. She's named after a flower. My name is long, said Miss Twinkle. It is, said Joe. My name would scarcely fit on the name tag, said Miss Twinkle. It would, said Rita, pointing. And, said Miss Twinkle, I'm named after a flower, too. You are? Said Victoria. Yes, said Miss Twinkle. My name is Delphinium, Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely perfect. Chrysanthemum could not believe her ears. She blushed. She beamed. She bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. What just happened? Turn and talk to your elbow partner. Tell me exactly what just happened in the story. And then tell me if we reached our solution to our problem. Go. Eyes up, hands up. Okay, what do you guys think? The teacher made her feel good about herself? Why is that? Because, yes, the teacher did have a long name as well. Similar to Chrysanthemum's, yes, because she says that she was named after a flower too. A delphinium is actually a flower, just like a chrysanthemum. How do you think Chrysanthemum feels now after Miss Twinkle told them about her name? She feels happy? Do you think Joe, Rita, and Victoria are going to bully her more? Or do you think that they're done? Why do you think that? Why do you think they're not going to bully her anymore? Okay. Let's see what happens with Joe, Rita, and Victoria as we read the story. Joe, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. Call me Marigold, said Joe. I'm Carnation, said Rita, pointing. My name is Lily of the Valley, said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it. So, Joe, Rita, and Victoria aren't bullying her anymore. Would you say, and shout this out when I tell you, do you say now that we have reached our solution to our problem? Why? Because she's not getting bullied anymore. That's right. Is Chrysanthemum happy now, or is she upset still? She is happy. And I think it's safe to say that she has some friends. We got one more part, guys, and then we're going to go into our activity. Okay? This is called an epilogue, so this is after the whole story. Overall, the class musicale was a huge success. Chrysanthemum was absolutely perfect as a daisy. Victoria made the only mistake. She completely forgot her lines as the dainty fairy queen. Chrysanthemum thought it was wildly funny, and she giggled throughout the entire dance of the flowers. Eventually, Miss Twinkle gave birth to a healthy baby girl, and of course, she named her Chrysanthemum. So boys and girls, this was the story of Chrysanthemum and how she overcame a problem that was introduced in the story. And I definitely can say, well, actually, you know what? Answer me this. We met Joe, Victoria, and Rita in the story in the beginning. Do you think that Joe, Rita, and Victoria changed by the end of the story when we first met them in the beginning? I agree as well. So boys and girls, you're going to be completing a graphic organizer that we just read with the whole story. You're going to be discussing what the beginning, middle, and end of the story was. I encourage you to work with a partner. You will go through, you will draw me a picture of what happened in the beginning of the story, and then write me one sentence that explains your picture that you remember from the beginning of Chrysanthemum. On the second page, you're doing something similar, except you're only focusing on the middle of the story, the problem that was introduced with Chrysanthemum. Same thing, you're going to draw me a picture, and then you're going to explain in one sentence what this picture is doing. And on the back, you're going to tell me exactly what happened at the end of the story. You can pull it off from the epilogue as well if you want, but you're going to tell me what the solution was to the problem Chrysanthemum faced in the story. You are allowed to work with your elbow partner, and I am coming around to help you out when you need it. After students are done with their graphic organizer activity, they will be doing another activity called What's in the Name. And with this, they will be completing different aspects of their name. The first one goes into how many letters are in their name. The second one goes into what they were named after. If they were not named after anything important or a family member, they can simply write nothing or I'm not sure, because not all third graders will know if they were named after something specific in their life from their parents. The third one asks, I like my name because, and students will just give a one-sentence answer as to why they like their name. And the last one says, here is a picture of my name. Students are encouraged to use their crayons, markers, and colored pencils and write their name out as colorful as possible. That way it pops out on the page. This goes into the aspect of drawing and writing. And the last activity that students will be doing is an exit ticket. And with this exit ticket, children will be discussing if they like the story or not by recording their answers on this page. And if they can, they're going to make a connection to the story after we read it. And that connection could be anything between if they ever got bullied or picked on because of their name or something that they did, or if they found something interesting in the book about one of the characters and they can just write about that. With these two additional activities, I do plan to walk around to make sure children are on task, are understanding what the directions are asking for them, and will be providing assistance as much as possible as I go around to each student. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed.